Brothers and sisters, I told you we are going to end National Black Business Month with a bang. Okay, you know, we couldn't close this month out without talking about National Black Business Month again. We talked about it earlier this month, but I really wanted to end this show talking to Black entrepreneurs, brothers and sisters. So if you want to get in on the conversation, thank you to those who are listening online. You can call in 346-355-0100, or you can listen, or if you're listening through the app, you can call the number. You see where it is. And now I am live, brothers and sisters, on my personal Facebook page at Dawn Paul. And I think I am about to share this on the Dr. Dawn as well. So, brothers and sisters, I have to give these people a proper introduction. You know, we don't bring anybody into the Dr. Dawn radio show raggedy. We don't make you sit on the plastic couch like grandma used to. We make you feel comfortable. So, brothers and sisters, we are talking about the truth and the triumphs of Black business ownership. I know it looks real good and glamorous on social media, but we're going to have real conversation. No judgment, just realness. First, I have to introduce, let's do ladies first. That's how we do it here. Sonyia Baring Graham, darling. She is an author, publisher, co-founder of The Skin I Am In model and talent agency. Let's welcome to the Dr. Dawn radio show, Sonyia. How are you, sister?
Hey, Dr. Dawn. I'm amazing. I'm so excited to be on the platform with you today and to talk about this subject. This is crucial because there's a lot of what you see on social media and what happens on the background is sometimes it's night and day. So the fact that we're going to talk about that and tell the truth, I'm here for it.
Truth. That's what I love. See, if Maury Povich was to bring a lie detector test, you know what he'd say? You are the father. You are telling the truth. Because that's what we do here. I'm serious. And Sonyia, it is, we have to have the truth. And then we want to let's just welcome the gentleman sitting next to her. Why not? I mean, come on. Ferrell E. Phelps. He is a celebrity photographer, co-founder of The Skin I Am In model and talent agency. Ferrell E. Phelps, how are you, brother?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for allowing us to be on your platform. And I was looking forward to tonight.
I know, right? I look forward to having a very good conversation with you good people. And last but not least, I've known this brother for so long. He was pounding the pavement, walking the streets with his makeup bag. And I'm telling you, Steve, we've been in this game a long time. When you see my face beat looking fabulous, he's the only one who touches my face. I've had a couple people in between, but Steve has been, the go-to, and also my friend. I'm telling you, all these people, my friends, but makeup artist, friend. He is founder and CEO of Kohl Colors, Art Defining Beauty. Steve Coleman, how are you, brother?
I'm doing well, Dr. Dawn. How are you? Thanks for having me this evening.
Oh, yes. And you canceled a makeup appointment for tonight, or you didn't have one tonight? We don't want to interrupt your money, boo. Okay.
I did make sure my schedule was clear for this evening.
I know. See, friends support each other, right? But y'all, we're going to have a real conversation. And I just want to thank you all for being here because I think this is an important conversation to have. There have been some successes, but it's some struggles along the way. So we want to talk about that. No judgment, just realness. First thing, I want to hear from you, Sonyia, and then let's go around. Sonyia, Ferrell, and then Steve. Just give us a brief intro. How long have you been in business? What do you do? What is your business?
Right. So I've been an entrepreneur for 30 plus years. I've done my background profession would be business development, marketing, and management. I've managed Olympian. I've products, or anything that has to do with business development, kind of A to Z in that. And I love it. I'm passionate about bringing things to fruition.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, 30 years in the game. You, Ferrell?
Yeah, it's been about the same. I've been in business for a long time, freelance for quite some time before I opened the studio back in 2005. And I've been here ever since. And when we talk about business and challenges of business and things like that, we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. because
But
we're
yeah,
going to get to the discount question. Ferrell, can you hook me up with a free photo shoot and I'll tag you on Instagram? Anyway, we're going to get to that later.
Exactly.
Steve, and tell us what you do. Yeah, y'all, I'm ready to talk about that. Go ahead, Steve.
All right. Well, again, my name is
Yeah,
17
he's free.
years.
Okay. How many years?
17.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been 17 years.
Mm.
Formerly a microbiology, my love and study for science was my thing, but I'm sure we all can attest how life can take us down some different roads and lead us right into what we're supposed to be doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Steve is you're a scientist. He's in this, and then you have tell us about your other business, the photo bomb. He has another business, but tell us about the flower business though. You expanded.
I did,
Yeah.
and it's not as big as the makeup business yet, but I did expand doing florals, and I started that during the pandemic,
Yeah.
and it was just a way to allow me to be another part of my business and to offer that service to others to make people smile. And just like makeup, it makes people feel good, it makes people feel empowered, and that goes for men and women, because a lot of people don't know that every man on TV is in makeup. So
Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Now, people, thank you, Michelle Brown, for being on. God bless you, sister. And, thank you for those listening through the app and listening online, because I believe that we just have to have truth here. So let's get into it. First question. They've told us what we do. Let's talk about what challenges do you deal with as a Black business owner? Because there are business struggles, right? But then there's the Black ownership business struggles. Sonyia, you, Ferrell, and then you, Steve.
Okay. I would say is in it not only just the minority or Black business, but also a small business. My theory is that you always set yourself up not what you as the business that you want to be, so always operate in a larger capacity than, as far as dealing with any kind of client. Doesn't matter if you're a small business, you should be able to serve that client. But sometimes, because a lot of us don't come from homes of entrepreneurs, most of our parents work. And so the value of us being entrepreneurs, like even in my family, I mean, I was Compact Computers first online promotional products company nationwide. And my family is like, oh, that's nice. That's cute. So they don't understand that we can do the level of business that any of our counterparts and at the same level, but they think when we do business is cute. They don't know if it's the same level or even better. So that's something I experience as a minority or Black business owner, in family and just across the board.
Oh, yeah. You, Ferrell?
Yeah, for me, when we talk about the challenges of Black business, oftentimes it's keeping the dollars coming in and finding innovative and creative ways to do that. It's always a challenge, and also reinventing yourself in what you do. And I think that the city of Houston can definitely attest to what I've done in the past by creating projects from the first, the President Barack Obama's book in my lifetime, and creating that book and getting it into the White House and into the various libraries here in the city, really setting a standard for who I am as a photographer, and also separating myself from others. I think it's very important that we walk in our own lane. I never want to emulate or simulate anybody. I want to create a lane that others will follow in, and not necessarily follow the path of others in my business. And so that's what I constantly do. And I constantly think of ways to reinvent myself, just like with the Skin I'm In project and the Freedmanstown documentary project. These are all projects that I created as a photographer that put me on the map even more so than the average photographer, if that makes any sense. So constantly reinventing yourself, finding other ways to market yourself, taking advantage of social media, which is huge for my business. and things like that. So it's really important that we continue to evolve and
Yeah.
not become sedentary in what we're doing.
Yeah, that can be the challenge, though, having to reinvent yourself over and over. Steve, you biggest challenge, you would say, as that you deal with as a Black business owner.
I would say this, and I know a lot of people probably talk about it amongst their close friends and their significant others, but
Yeah.
the support from your own, including your that is one of business we don't have a lot because again, it's a little cute business. Oh, your little business. And I had to correct someone here recently. So it's like, oh, just set up a little pop-up shop. And well, no, you didn't hire me. And my business is not setting up a little shop.
Yeah.
You a big, as a business. And I mean,
Yeah.
I was just shocked when she said that. But I think the support from family members and funding, like working capital and funding, Black businesses struggle, especially when you have someone at the bank or on the other end of the computer that does not support Black business or is not of your race or ethnic background.
Yeah, that can happen sometime. But you know what? Now I find, and now we all see there's grants, there's more programs to help Black and minority owned businesses. But some of the problem is we have to have the paperwork. We have to have things in order. Now, yeah, you're right, Steve, on that. Before all this, the Black business, helping minority businesses. Yeah, the person on the other side was the decision maker, and it was not always in our favor. But now what happens is they have programs. They have, okay, but they'll say, well, where's your LLC? Oh, I don't have that. Okay, where's your DB? Okay, I don't have that. We have to look ourselves in the mirror sometimes. Did you pay taxes? And then you're scratching your head and you walk out real quick. You know what I mean? Let's be honest about it. So we have to make sure some of this, we have to have our business in order. But you are correct, Steve. If you don't opt for the program, you have to depend on the other person who may not be your skin color, brothers and sisters. And even if they are your color, let's hope they, No, I'm just saying, let's hope
that
they,
is very true.
That's another show for another time. But thank you all who are on watching Facebook Live. If you have a question or if you have a comment as a Black business owner, or you just want to make a comment about what has been said, or if you want to call in, feel free to do that. We would love to hear from you. And, I keep it candid. I keep it in Christ, but I'm going to try not to make this a complaining session, especially when we get to the discount question, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay. So, yeah, come on. We got to talk about that. But let's talk about pivoting, right? Ferrell, you dealt with health challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Here you are, your business, health challenge. Steve, you were you pivoted with another business. Sonyia, pivot. When it comes to pivot, how did you deal with those times when it was slow during the pandemic? How do we deal with those times? How do we pivot?
I would like to speak to, for the Model and Talent Agency, we formulated, the company formed on January of 2020. And then our first model call was literally 3 weeks before everything shut down.
Okay.
And so our choice was, okay, what do we do now? But ultimately, our business is not just an agency. It's truly a ministry to us. And so we're here to make a difference. And so we knew that if we were positioned for this, that things would be supplied. But we also looked at it as, it doesn't matter if you're a Wilhelmina, a Ford, or any kind of agency, everybody was forced to do the business the same way.
Yeah.
Virtually. And so to us, we looked at it as an opportunity that we had level playing ground, and we utilized that to get us to where we are today. And so I'm really grateful that we had a tenacity to push forward and the support. We had a lot of people that, helped us, pushed us through, supported us. And the nice thing is, because our agency supports unique people, there's a need for it. And so we had people in the industry that said, hey, we need you. How do we help you? Yeah. And so we are very fortunate and blessed to have that during that time. But so COVID for us, it still was challenged financially because, you know, we spent most of that time formulating and setting up the company and learning because, you know, a lot of people weren't doing a lot of, they're trying to figure out their own lives.
Yeah.
So COVID for us and a lot of people was not a blessing, but it was a wake up for you to really do self introspect what's going on with your life, what you're doing, and if that wasn't working, what else can I do? What are my gifts? What are my talents? And so that's what I feel we've done, and it's been a blessing to move forward with that. Now his illness, I'll let you speak to that
Yeah,
because
because here you are, we're in the midst of the pandemic, having to, and then you were hit with COVID, Ferrell, and you were really, you had people praying for you because brother, you were in a not in a very good place.
No,
Yeah,
not at all. And it probably was, to hear that you're dying is probably one of the worst things that you can ever hear, you
mm,
know? And so, yeah, that definitely was a tough period. But I'm going to go backwards a little bit to when the pandemic first began, and everybody was scrambling about what we're going to do with our business because it's going to shut down a lot of things, and this, that, and the other. And needless to say, the studio was definitely shut down because I couldn't do anything for a period of time.
yeah,
And during that time, thankfully, I'm an artist, and many people don't know that. And so I'm like, okay, what do I do with my spare time? I'm
yeah,
like, you know what? I think I'm going to pick my art back up. And so I began to do my art and actually sell it live on Facebook.
yeah,
And that was a part of what I did. In addition to, thinking of how I can have this comeback once the business opened up again.
yeah,
Now, when I got sick, um, that was probably the toughest part because I had to shut the business down for 2 months.
mm,
And I had to cancel every appointment, of course, that I had on my books because I was in no condition to work, period. And one of the things that happened when I talk about customers and people, one of my clients had put a deposit down of $200, right? Now I'm sick, and I've said to her, I'm very ill. I didn't want to go into all of the details, but once I'm better, then I will, we'll pick up back where we started. And here I am getting the news that I'm dying, and my client is telling me that, well, can I just get a refund back on my $200?
mm,
When I tell you I was floored. And here I am, sicker than I don't know what, on my cell phone trying to find a way to Zelle this lady's $200 back to her because I'm a man of integrity, and first and foremost. And for her to know how sick I was, and then to say, "Can I get my 200?" I was just in shock. And you
mm.
remember when I was trying to figure out how to send this lady her money back? But people can be really insensitive, and not everybody really cares about you. Let's be honest.
Did she say I'll pray for you?
She might have said that.
After the money hit the account. But yeah.
Oh, and then it didn't, hit right away. And she hit me back up saying, "Oh, my money still hadn't hit my account."
Help us, y'all. Help us,
I'm like,
y'all. Yeah.
"Are you serious? Are you serious?" So yeah, but as far as challenges are concerned, that
Yeah.
was definitely a challenge for us. It was a challenge for the business, and the business survived.
Yeah.
Once I got, moving again and things, and honestly, things picked up more than before that had happened, which was very interesting. So we just never know in business. We just have to keep pushing.
Steve, yeah, that's
Oh,
interesting. And you find out who is really for you and who's not for you. Yeah. Steve, how did you push through? Now you started the flower
Yeah.
business, right? But talk about those times were slow because you were very transparent. Michelle Brown says, "Praise God for that." So thank you for that, Ferrell. Thank you for that, and thank you, Michelle, for that comment. But Steve, because you shared when you're talking about the pandemic, nobody knew what was going on. We were not getting our makeup done because people didn't have opportunities, and then we were like fearful.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fear. We don't want to get our
Right.
makeup done. Should he? All of this. So how, Steve? It was really tough for you.
Yeah. So it really, I mean, it got scary, and I'll never forget the date. It was March 7th.
Mm,
And I heard the rodeo closed. I was like, uh-oh.
yeah.
And then my calendar immediately started going to cancel, and I was like, uh-oh. And of course, we have money set aside but I didn't have money set aside for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, you have 6 months, 8 months out, but I was like, okay, 2 years. So, and then when you don't get any of the funding, when you don't get any of the help, I did
Mm.
shut my school down. And like Sonyia said, realizing that I was on the same playing field with everybody else. I don't care how much money you had, if you had a helicopter, if you had $1 million, if you had, we were all on the same playing field.
Yes.
And my friend can attest to this because I said, you know what? If people don't realize what's going on now and you have this opportunity, I say, I'm coming out of this thing totally different. So I
Yeah.
took time, although finances were decreasing, I did take time to do research.
Yeah.
How can I reinvent myself? What
Yes.
can I do? What talents are, I think we froze. Are we back?
No, you're
Okay.
good.
I said, let me put this.
He's freezing again, but it's okay. And then Michelle also says, she says, excellent points from you all. And I think the point is what you all said. Either you can sit and you can be, you can do nothing, or you can start. You have to be productive during the time where it's
Yeah.
problematic. You have to be studying. Steve says, I'm doing research. How do I reinvent myself? What other gifts do I have? How I can make money? But the important thing is you can't just sit there. We
Right.
can't just sit there. Faith without works is dead. So all of you hit it on the head. You all stayed productive during the pandemic because it wasn't going to last forever. Now, yeah, we're still technically now to monkeypox and whatever else is going on, right? But it's always going to be something.
Yeah.
It's going to be something. You can't depend on another government check and all that and all that. Reinventing ourselves, not just sitting there. Yeah, you might cry sometimes, but you pick yourself up and you just have to keep pushing and have faith. But if you keep your mind working, I think that's one of the things. Now, here we go, y'all. I have to ask this question. Sonyia, Ferrell, and then you, Steve. Do you define yourself as a Black business or as a business? And then Michelle also says, keep a positive attitude. Absolutely. Absolutely, Michelle. Go ahead, Ferrell, Sonyia, and then Steve. Do you define yourself as a Black business or as a business?
So I would say because our platform for the agency is about diversity and inclusion. So I wouldn't say I'd say it's a diverse, we look at that because that's what our message is saying that our motto is everybody should be represented. And so there's so much inclusion, division, and those things. So we stay true to our platform. So
Okay.
I would say not necessarily a Black business, but we do celebrate the fact that there are not a lot of successful Black agencies. And
Yeah.
so we make sure that we represent ourselves well. We stay in the forefront, and we're very blessed to have this opportunity to carry that torch and celebrate diversity and make sure that everybody knows that we're all a part of the industry and we want to change the face of the industry instead of saying that this is what you should look like. We want to be able to see our faces in commercials and everything. So how would you say we'd say Black or we're diverse?
I think we're a diverse business owned by Black people.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I think that would be another way of saying it as well, a diverse business owned by Black people, because we cater to everybody.
Yeah.
And we don't want to necessarily be just Black, you know, and so we make sure that we're more universal.
Yeah.
And that's by representing people with various skin types and various ethnicities
Yeah.
as well, you know. So, and then when it comes to the photography side, I am a Black business. And my clients primarily are African American. Although I welcome everybody, you know,
Yeah.
we're not running for money.
Yeah.
You know, we're in business to make money. And I want to go back on something that Steve said too, just real quick about preparation, because when things come up, if you've been wise in your saving and found ways to put aside monies when things get bad, it helps you not to freak out and panic, when
Yes.
something like the pandemic happens.
Yeah.
So preparation alleviates frustration.
Amen. That's
In a
good.
lot of ways.
Steve, you black business or just business?
Again, I'm going to go with Ferrell as I am a diverse
Mhm.
business,
Yeah.
but I'm a black business owner.
Okay.
So I
I like
offer
that.
my services and I have service from African to Indian, Asian, Caucasian. And as Sonyia said, I just strive in making sure that I represent as a black businessman, that I represent myself and my business well so that I can service the different races and ethnicities.
Yeah. Rilla Thomas, thank you, Rilla. She's a insurance, she's an entrepreneur who owns an insurance company. She says, I'm just a business. That's right. And I am a business. I am a black woman who owns a business, and depending on how much grant money you want to give me, I'll check black. And we got, hey, whatever, y'all. Come on now. Let's not be foolish here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think that's important because if you do want business from, money is money. But I think if people see that you do good work, they're gonna come. They're gonna come. So, but I think when you say black, you do have to be careful about that. But we still can be proud. I just thought that was an interesting question, and I wanted to know, what you thought about that. Now let's get to the question about our culture. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's a culture. Not all of us, but one of the challenges that we can face, and we hear other black business owners talking about, you guys, is that we don't want to pay full price for each other's services. We don't want to pay full price for each other's services, but then we're on social media talking about, you better pay my fee, or when potential clients come to you, you want your full rate, but you want a nickel and dime another person of this color when we're all trying to hustle together. Let's let the Lord lead this. Because I don't want, seriously, it has happened. And so is it a cultural thing? Is it because everybody's going to try to get the cheapest rate. We know that, right? But sometimes you just can't negotiate. You can't say, Steve, okay, I see this, but, can you, how do you feel about that? How do you guys feel about that? Have you encountered it? Sonyia, you first.
So I would say that kind of goes back to that quality thing. Understanding that just because my skin is black, that doesn't mean that I can't have quality in what I do.
That's
It
right.
doesn't mean I can't be professional about how I serve. So I think that goes back to understanding that my skin tone has nothing to do with the quality of business that I deliver. And it goes to the other side where people say, or they think because you're black that you don't do good business. So it goes back to just understanding is quality is in not what you see on my skin, but who I am as a business, integrity. If I have integrity in my business, quality in my services, that's how I should be looked at. And if that's how I do business, that's how I deserve to be treated, from my consumers as well too. If I can tell you like a quick story, years ago, I was working with a boutique, and I would go to Manhattan to the same places that Macy's was buying stuff off for their showrooms, and I'd bring the same outfit, put it on the shelf, and have actually the ad from the
Comparison.
a comparison of the actual ad from the newspaper right up there, and they'd come in and say, how much for this? I go, the price is right on there, right?
Yeah.
And the conversation would be, now, if you go into Macy's, you see the ad of it, you see this very same outfit in Macy's, you don't ask them how much. You're going to look at the tag and you're going to gratefully pay that price for it.
That's right.
So that's the problem, is we think that just because we have melanin in our skin that we don't have quality or that they should get a discount. We have to eat, we have to feed our families, we have to and we have overhead. A lot of people have overhead, so we got to pay our bills. And Ferrell, you have a really good example that
Let me read this comment real quick. Michelle says she was getting ready to say that. She says her husband's slogan on his business card is quality work done right. You pay for quality.
Yes.
Yeah, and he put that on the business card, y'all, so we don't have no confusion. I know that's right. Good marketing, no questions asked. Yeah, Ferrell, quickly, you and then you, Steve. I want to hear from about this. I got to hear what y'all have to say.
I love it. One of the things for me when someone asks for a discount, and it does happen, and basically when you're saying you want a discount, you want to cut my pay. So my question is, when you go to work,
That's
40
good.
hours a week, would you like for your boss to ask you if he could cut your pay? And
That's good.
and I lease my building, and so I have to pay rent every month. And I oftentimes will say to them, I tried to go to my landlord and ask them for a discount, but it didn't work. So I can't pass that discount on to y'all.
That's right.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Steve, that's very good. Would you, yeah. Would you, I mean, that's very good, Ferrell. That's a good point. That's good. Steve,
Yeah, he wrapped it up. That's my thing. I put it back on the client.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't tell Reliant Energy that you only paid me half of what I charge, or I have to wait on your payment, or even with corporations, how they would do the was it the 90-day out before they sent your payment, but you wanted me to be on time. You wanted my work and my service the day of. I cannot wait 90 days for you to give me a check. Not as a small business. Now, larger businesses may be able to do that because they have the working capitals or the loans, whereas a small business, I need to pay my car note, my rent, for my space and all of that, house note and everything. So Ferrell said it best. I just put it back on the client, and you want a discount or everything. Well, let me do my job halfway and let me know how you.
Let me do half your face like Batman, Joker. What's that word? Okay, I'll give you pay me the Okay. Michelle says this. She says, "Do you want a discount on your service?" And let me, and I love this because this is so important. And like my pastor said, he said, we buy what we want, but then we beg for what we need. We have to stop that. And let me say this, what I have learned, and this is what I have learned in business. If people don't want to pay for my services, and see, that's why you have to have multiple streams of income, right? Thank God, right? But you have to be able to, I don't feel good about myself when someone tries to nickel and dime me. Now, if I give you a discount because it's a nonprofit, or because we bartered, or because you've been a long time client, and I'm like, I want to hook you up, that's right. But if you come in the gate wanting a discount, I don't feel, if it doesn't make me feel good, if it makes me feel less than about myself, I don't do it. I'm not doing it because I don't like feeling like I'm not valued. And I just don't like the feeling of that. Michelle says, come on. And I also find if it's too much back and forth, you're not going to do business with me anyway. Because people that are ready to go, y'all, they ready to go. Steve, if they see it on the website, they going to come or not come, right? Ferrell, they gonna come for a photo shoot today. Now, if I find if it's too much back and forth, I'm still gonna converse with you. But I already know you're not gonna do business with me. But and that's okay. And all money is not good money, because if out the gate we having all this going on, I love my clients on the coaching and the business side, on the media side, but I like to enjoy. I'm in a place. All money's not good money. Don't disrespect people. And that's just me. We should not feel bad about ourselves. If doing a discount makes you feel bad about yourself, if you feel, well, I have to have, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
And you also have to understand that not everybody is your client.
That's right.
That I had to learn. Not everybody is my client, and not everybody's going to come up to the standard to make the payment that I require for my services. And I have to understand that's just not my client. There are other photographers that are available as well,
Yeah. And my response, and I think my response to people is, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I wish you the best. If you need a referral for any other service that we don't provide, let me know and I'll help you. I wish you the best. But you just move on. And you're right. Don't be desperate. And as Steve, we've talked about this before many times in the chair. It's not a hobby what you do. Photography is not a hobby.
Right.
It's not a hobby what Sonyia does. What we do, this is to make a living, you guys, right? This is how we make a living.
Absolutely.
It's how we make a living. Makeup is not a hobby.
I'd like to say that, yeah, every client is.
That's right. Yeah.
And Dr. Don, isn't it
Yeah.
amazing how when people pay less, they want more?
Yes,
Those are the
Sonya. Sonya. Oh, Sonya. Why was I thinking that? Some of the people who want a nickel and dime you, they gonna be the most difficult clients to deal with.
Yes.
Hold up, Sonya. So who would we be referring to? Some of the celebrities. Some of the celebrities.
Oh, wait a minute. Really?
Yeah. Some of the celebrities, they want, I mean, and demand is so, and then they want to post you on Twitter or give you a shout out or allow you to take a picture. And I'm like, again, I cannot survive off of this picture that you, and most of the times I don't even ask. I'm there to do my job and
Yeah.
I'm out of it.
Put 5 on it. Maybe they put 5 on it with that picture.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, some of them don't even tip. Your payment is lit. I'll speak with my manager and he act like he don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Wait, Ferrell, did you deal with that? Have you dealt with that?
Oh, I can absolutely 1,000%. And here's the deal.
Oh, Steve, I remember that story, but we're not gonna say any names. Yeah. Oh, y'all. Go ahead, Ferrell.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to know some names, but
Yeah.
off air. But anyway, I forget my point now. But the tip, when you talk about a tip, we're in the service industry, right?
Yeah.
And what I do as a service, I work very hard when I shoot. If you watch my videos, you'll see me moving this, moving that, doing this, doing
Yes.
that. It's a service, and very few of my clients will actually tip. And I have a sign. I had a sign on my wall at one time. I just wrote it out. Photographers take tips.
Mm.
We do. It's a service, you know. And we deserve some tips, man. Come on, y'all. Come on.
And then wanting all that Photoshop. Now you know good and well. At least tip me if you want me to make you look 12 years old. I mean,
Come on now.
You 60 and you want me to make you look 40, but you don't want me to give you a tip. Y'all, come on.
You already know.
Yeah,
You
come
know,
on.
when it comes to service business, like when I get my hair done, to me,
Yes.
it makes that person feel special, and guess what? In turn, they make you feel special.
Yes.
It shows appreciation, and it's not always have to be a lot. It's just a token of appreciation.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
a tip is.
Yes.
The token saying, "I appreciate you."
And
That's
I always
right.
tip. I believe in tipping, especially at restaurants. I will tip you big. You give me good service.
Yeah.
Because it's so important. And by me being in the service industry, from a photographer's perspective, I know it's important. So I want the same thing that my mother taught me. She said, treat people the way you want to be treated. One of my greatest lessons.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Now, y'all, this is another topic. It's a lot of perpetrating going on social media. There's a lot of people who have been bamboozled, right? And Steve, you know this, Ferrell, you know this, especially you all being in the industries you're in, where it's image. They will take your photos, Ferrell, and put it on their Instagram like they did it. Or Steve, they'll take that makeup, that picture, and put it on their page. Because we've seen quite a few hairstylists. We have, people hair jacked up, but the picture they saw wasn't even the picture. Y'all, it's all kind of stuff, right?
They won't give you the credit either.
Yeah, and then I come in for a photo shoot and you got a Kodak camera. I thought, what is this? Y'all, and an iPhone. No, boo, what is this? Steve, y'all know. How do people know? Y'all know I'm not kidding. People have I'm trying to build, but the shame, people have no shame. So talk to the people. And first I want to hear from you, Steve, and Sonya, and then Ferrell, about how do people know that the work they're getting is actually Steve Coleman's, Ferrell's, Sonya, you know what I mean? How do they know? Because people have been, it's just very unfortunate.
Right. And I often, even when I'm acquiring a new client, when I'm dealing with my current clients, when I'm referring my clients out and helping them seek a makeup artist, maybe or something, the communication is always pertinent in that moment, if you will.
Yeah.
And I can, from my website to my Instagram, sometimes I will ask them to refer to the picture that they are talking about.
Yeah.
And so,
that's good. And then you can say, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I may explain the color palette that I used or something, so that now I'm building a relationship with this client or a potential client. And so that's one way that I different. And I've had my work shared on other people's page, and I'm like, whoa. I've had people say they were trained by me, and I'm like, huh? You know, like, okay, I don't even know them, but
See,
just to use your name. So I always say,
yeah,
try to get some kind of verbal communication, because you can often, so we all know when someone is BSing us. We can pretty much tell when they're not telling the truth, and or it's just too much chatter in between. You're like, okay, something ain't right about this picture. So
yeah,
yeah, always try to get some kind of communication.
yeah, yeah. You, Ferrell, a lot of photographers faking it out there, pulling Ferrell images.
You, you know, things
Yeah.
like that has definitely happened.
Oh, wow.
And it's really sad for
How
me.
do you deal with it? Did you DM them? Did you say take that off? What do you do?
Yeah, generally the client, whoever the client was, would be the one to reach out and do it
Okay.
and say, you know, and handle it that way. But people will hijack your imagery.
Mm-hmm.
And since this is a Dr. Don show and we keep it real, right?
Yeah, keep it real.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
All right. So when you talk about people hijacking your pictures, and this is real conversation, and when people are of the cloth, the clergy,
Ah, yes.
in leadership position in big churches, and so you feel like you can trust them, so you could,
Mm.
oh, let me electronically send you your images so that you can make your decisions at home,
Ah,
because you're pastor so and so and reverend so and so. And then, you know, you give a time limit or whatever, and then you're on social media and you see your pictures popping up all over the place. You're like, wait a minute, you didn't, Pastor so and so, you didn't, you ain't paid me,
didn't
and
pay.
you didn't hijack my pictures, and we keeping it real, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's happened more than once with
Wow.
different pastors. I'm just being
Mm.
honest.
Yeah,
Now, and I do have some amazing pastors that I work with in leadership that are amazing.
yeah,
But there has also been some that I have. I mean, it has been really bad, where you've
yeah,
had to reach out and send letters and say, if you don't take this down and do this, that, and the other, then, you know, we're gonna take another step. You know,
yeah,
so we can't always trust people just because they wear a cross
yeah,
or a white collar.
yeah,
And I'm just being, you know, this is your show, so we're being real. So
yeah. Or, because it really, you should not even, it's just, you think you have arrived or what have you, or that's really out of order. No, do not share these pictures until have you paid for them. But see,
that's
you
it.
trust people, and that's with anybody, right? But yeah, it's unfortunate that it has happened to you with some of the clergy. It's no judgment, just realness. Check that.
Yeah.
Check that, people. I mean, I'm just saying that it's no judgment, just realness. If that's what happened, that's what
Yeah.
happened.
Mm-hmm.
But Sonyia, you
So
and I think, yeah, go ahead, Sonyia.
what I want to, I guess, is kind of put something from a business perspective, is that a lot of times we we take that, okay, yes, I trust you, you're my friend and all that stuff, but really we have to do more
Mm,
documentation. We need to do non-disclosures. We need to be about our business. It doesn't matter
yes,
who it is,
good.
because there's so many people out there waiting to take advantage of you. And there's so
Yes,
many people that just don't care.
yeah,
And so you work hard to hone your craft, your whatever you're doing, it takes time.
yeah,
And chances are, if you were to ask someone, they would probably help you. But instead, people want to hijack the work, or they want to do something to it that without your permission. But I would say it's very important that we protect ourselves by having agreements. Not as, I don't care what it is. It's times far from doing the mom and pop businesses.
that's
If you
right.
want to have a reputable business, you need to do everything to make it legitimate. Pay your taxes, everything it takes. Set your business up the way you see yourself succeeding.
That's
If you want
good.
to be a big business, do your business like a big business.
That's
Amen.
good.
So,
I like you said that, and I think so many times in the Black community, and handshake and a smile, but that'll have you on Judge Mathis. Okay, I want to be on TV, y'all, but not like that. Okay, that's not the way. You have to have the paperwork.
writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have it in
that
writing.
paper trail. Get that paper trail. Emails are the best, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, but you said, oh, well, let me go back. No, what I said was,
Yeah.
here it is. Oh, and you signed. You signed right here saying that. So there was an understanding. And so, you know, what I say is manage expectations. That's my favorite saying. Upfront,
Mm.
manage expectations of what's supposed to happen, how it's going to happen, what's going to happen. Get it in writing, and then you can go forward from that.
Yeah. And Steve, let me read Rilla. Rilla says, I agree. And then Rilla also says, be a professional. It's about being professional. Because if you come with your business, because I had somebody come to me wanting something, you know, I said, okay, well, send me the agreement and let me know. Because how do I know you're not getting like 5-10 grand a month off my content a month, right? I need to make sure I'm getting a cut. How do you know what's going on behind this? Oh, Farrell, we want to put your stuff on our website. Okay, but we need an agreement, because how do I know you're not making money off of my stuff? Steve, how do I know, you know, Steve, can we have some of your products in our boutique just to, okay, but how do we know you're not selling his stuff and making more than what you said? And then Steve's not getting his full cut, you know, all of that going on. So we have to be mindful. I like that, Sonyia. We have to set ourselves up for big business, which means pay your taxes. Make sure you get a DBA. Make sure you have an LLC. Make sure that's good. Yeah. Because many of us as Black business owners, we're first generation. Black, mom and daddy worked for a company for 20 years, told us to do the same, y'all. So we're learning, but the resources are out there. It's no excuse for us not to be set up to be successful.
You can Google it.
Yeah, I believe that. Now I want to hear from you first on this, Sonyia, and then you, Ferrell and Steve. You know, we all make mistakes, right? In business, goodness knows I'm the first one to raise my hand, right? We all make mistakes. Give me like a mistake and then lesson learned from it.
Ooh, I have a really good one.
Yeah.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And what I mean by that is, I had mentioned that I had a compact computer account. I was their online promotional products business. And so that was, I mean, it was amazing. And so, but what I did was I took my eyes off of my previous clients. You know, it's like, hey, this, and so I wasn't giving them the service I need to give them, or was I leveraging the things the way I was in the past? And I was afraid to grow. Because at that point, what I should have done, because I had a home-based business, because I was able to manage that out of my home. But what I should have done is stepped out on faith like God showed me, got an office, got a staff to manage those other accounts and some other account execs. But I didn't. And I kept, so that other side of my business, it got lower and lower. But I was like, oh, this is good. I'm good here. But then when HP came in, I didn't even get to bid on the contract. You know, you take care of your family. You know how that all works, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to do with your business at that time. It's politics. But so then, because I had put all my eggs in that one basket, when that basket was gone, everything changed.
Yeah.
So you have to keep your eyes on the prize and never lose sight. That little client is as big as any big client.
That's right.
All your clients the same. So
good.
Don't lose sight because of dollars.
That's good.
And don't be afraid to grow.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Ferrell, you, and then Steve, mistakes and lesson.
Mistakes and lessons. One of the biggest mistakes for me is not having people sign model releases when I'm using the image for what I'm producing. And it's a lesson that I learned back when did Barack Obama become president? In 2000 and what was it? Whatever the year was.
Yeah.
But I was doing the project, and my cousin, her children were part of the project. And at the last minute, I had the books printed, everything.
Yeah.
At the last minute, and I didn't get her to sign a release because I'm like, oh, that's my cousin, you know. I'm good. And after I had all the pictures printed, all the big images done for the exhibition, she calls me and tells me I'm uncomfortable with my kids being a part of the project. And I did not have a release sign. And it caused an issue at that time, but it was a lesson learned. And the good thing about it was, futuristically, I began to have everybody that was a part of anything I do, you know, on a different scale, to sign releases. And it definitely has paid off for me, making sure that I had releases signed. So that has to be one of my biggest one of my biggest lessons.
Yeah, I bet that was an uncomfortable family reunion.
What,
Yeah, anyway, yeah, I mean, who brings the potato salad? I don't know, tell Ferrell to bring. Yeah, tell him don't take a picture though, because he gonna put it on his book, you know.
Okay, come on. And you know what? Honestly, it did cause issues with my family. It really did, you know. And I was
Hey.
totally shocked. So, but I learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah, family will sometimes, family the first ones you gotta have signed, y'all.
Come on
They the
now.
first ones will bring you to Judge Mathis. Oh goodness, who it? What, honey? Yeah, Steve, you biggest mistake and lesson learned.
So biggest mistake, and again, all of my clients are red carpet clients.
Yes,
I've
yes.
dealt with, girls that I was doing makeup for the dancers,
Yeah,
and I've done makeup for the BET Awards. But you never know who's sitting in your chair. You never know what they're going through. But again, everyone is treated the same. And
yeah,
learning early on, a lesson was making that verbal communication, making sure everything was understood. So now, before the client even new or old, before they even get to me, I have talked and shared emails and enough to where that if there's any misunderstanding, it should be clarified before you even get to me.
yeah,
And that's payment, that's deposit, that's address, location. And I will say what I will never say, and I never use in my business practices, is that I will do this for you. Oh, I'll do
huh?
this. Yeah, I'll do that for you. That gets out, and so,
Yeah,
oh, he did this for me, and I learned that, and I was like, no, nobody gets.
yeah,
Oh, I'll do this for you, or I'll come in early for you, and then you tell another client that you may not know as well. Oh, well, no, I don't work during those hours. I don't. Oh, well, so and so said you did that for them, and then you're in, a pickle. Like,
Mhm.
yeah,
and you're having to change your business practices, and also just treat everyone the same across the board. Your business practices are your business practices, because when you get into doing favors or saying, I will do this, or, you don't have that verbal agreement, you don't have a contract, it gets very, very, it's a lot of gray area instead of black and white.
oh yeah, it'll get
Yep.
ugly. It'll get ugly, y'all. It really can get ugly.
Yeah.
Forget that handshake and a smile stuff. You better have, and people do take you seriously, right, Sonyia? Because I see your face when Sonyia, if you say, "Oh, I want you to publish my book," Sonyia, okay, well, Sonya's gonna have. There's some paperwork. We're just not gonna do this thing. I mean, come on, y'all. Even when and I find, Steve, because sometimes, Ferrell, your services, the people in your industry, you pay after, right? But now it is appropriate for hairstylists and makeup artists and photographers. This is the retainer, because I'm sure you all have been like, people have said, oh, I can't pay after they get the photo shoot or after they get their makeup done. Or can I pay you half the other next week, Steve? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you've had that happen, Ferrell?
Yeah.
You know
Wow.
what? I had to change my policy,
Yeah,
and we learn from the mistakes that we make, and that's the
yes.
most important thing. But I had to change my policy, so you don't leave with anything. You on the day that we do the photo shoots, you literally sit down with me immediately after to make your selections and make your purchases at that time.
Wow. So wait a minute. You don't email the photos. You tell us when. Gotcha. Okay.
I
Smart.
used to do that. I learned not to do that. And so
Okay.
now when we shoot and everything, everybody gets text messages for exactly how the shoots will go and exactly what's expected. And there is a deposit that you put down for your session fee before I ever see you.
Yeah.
And then on the day that we do the photo shoots, you actually pay for what you want on that day.
Yeah.
And
Or
that's
you're
how
not
it's
getting
done.
them. Look
That
how good these
simple.
photos look. Because see, we're
Mhm.
not going to play that game because you're going to do your own photoshopping and pop it up on your IG. Y'all know how that works.
With these filters these days. Come on.
Yeah.
Now. That's a whole
Yeah.
other story.
Yeah, that's another show for another time. And brothers and sisters, as we end this beautiful conversation, I tell you, this has been really good. But I want to, this is my last question. Steve, you, and then you, Ferrell, and Sonyia. Many of us, Steve, I'm sure, here you are in the makeup industry, beauty industry, but you have other makeup artists. Ferrell, you have other photographer friends. Sonyia, you have other publisher friends. There's enough room at the table for all of us, right? Just because we're in the same industry doesn't mean we have to be against each other. We can work together. Let's talk about working together, not against each other. Y'all see how I did that? After that discount question, y'all thought I was gonna go in and just go roll, go gangster. See, we calmed it down. Yeah. Steve, you?
So yes, I totally agree. We all can work with each other. I was applying and doing some paperwork for a grant, and I totally believe that there is enough room.
Yeah,
if you do good work, if you have good services, if you have a good product, I don't mind sending my client your way.
That's right.
But if it's not, if you're kind of shaky, if we can't get in touch with you, I'm not referring. But as long as you do, good business and you have good services, I have no problem referring. I have no problem sharing. I have hired makeup artists to help me on big projects. I'm not, trying to showboat or take the limelight. Look, this is the game plan. We need to get all 12 of these people done, and they need to done professionally with, your expertise, and, and that's basically it. But when, again, you want to keep it black and white. You don't want any gray area, even when it comes to referring, because then it comes back on you. Oh, you sent me the film and my pictures are all, crazy or whatever. Or you sent me the Ferrell, and man, he was an amazing photographer. When you're in business, when you're doing good, you're on top, you have these expectations, you're good. But the minute you slip and you slack, oh, your name is tormented like you done created the worst crime there is.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
So true.
You, Sonyia, and then you, Ferrell. That's good, Steve.
I think as a community, we'll be stronger if we pull each other up.
Yes.
We'll be stronger if we have our branches extended, and there's enough business and there's enough for everybody. And what God has for you is for you.
Yeah,
that's right.
And so nobody can take anything from you that's yours.
Yeah.
And so it's important to know that when you pay it forward, that's what we're here for anyway. We're here to make a difference. I know in my early days, it's like, why are you giving away all that information for free?
Yeah.
I got it from somewhere. And
that's right.
If it's in my spirit to give it. If God says give it, I'm going to give it.
That's right.
Trust me, I love that, because that's what you do. That's how you evolve. And that's who I am.
Yeah.
So there's enough for everybody.
There is. That's good. You, Ferrell?
Yeah, I totally agree. And for myself, I don't do all types of photography.
That's
right. I don't do wedding photography. That's just not my genre. And if something comes to me that I know another photographer can do in the realm of weddings, I'm going to reach out to that photographer and say, hey, this client is looking for A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
And so, and I'll do that, because I think it's important that we refer people, and the very person that you refer may refer you later on for something else as well. So it's just important that we keep that thing going. And even to the degree of training other photographers, I've trained so many photographers here in the studio, and just because I love what I do and I don't mind sharing, and people will ask me, why are you training your competition?
They're not my competition. Yeah.
In my mind, they're not my competition, but I'm helping my fellow brother. Now, has things bitten me in the butt before? Absolutely, because one of my photographers that I was training decided he's going to take my client, and then I see the pictures on social media, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And the funny thing about that was that very client ended up calling me back to get the pictures that they really wanted, because they were not happy with so
you will be exposed. You will be exposed.
Come on.
Steve, I hear you wanting to chomp at the bit on this one. Yeah, it's happened to you. Didn't you have an assistant or something? You've had some assistants, and it was some challenges there. Yeah.
I mean, that after one go round of working with me, oh, you're you were trained and taking my clients, and no, I didn't train you. You only worked with me one time, but That's very, man, that is so true. That is
But
so true.
and my thing is, if the client does go with them, let them go, because
Right.
you're
That
not
part.
loyal. Something wrong with that. Oh, I'll
That's
do it
it.
for $50.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll do it for 30. I'll do it for half. Yeah, and lash come off in the middle of the event, popping off in the cake at the
You
wedding.
know
You know
what?
what I mean? You
I
get
have
what you
no
pay for,
problem.
y'all.
Yeah.
Not the
I have
lash.
no problem
Yeah.
saying in a professional manner, that, it's okay. You can stay over there. I understand. I'm not the makeup artist for you
That's
because you
right.
don't value my worth. You don't value my time, nor do you value my skill set. For doing that, go ahead and stay over there, or just go ahead and find you another makeup artist, because a lot of people don't realize that is a big disrespect,
Yeah.
Right.
because you
Yeah.
didn't think enough of me as a person or of my work or business to go out because you got a cheaper price, or it was your cousin Kilolo down the street,
Yeah.
that now is doing makeup. And, so no, just stay over there, because clients that want you and like your work, they're going to come to you.
Yeah. And there was a time, and I'll be transparent with you all, this was a few years ago, and Steve, I mean, he's worth everything, but we were not as close as we were now, right? So now, I open conversation, but at that time he was doing my makeup for a while, but I had some challenging financial times. And I had went to someone else who was less expensive, but I told him that, right? And I said, Steve, I'm just letting you know, because I'm dealing with, I don't feel comfortable asking you to do it at a discount. So I'm going to this person because they're a little less than you. And we had that conversation. And he said, Dr. Dawn, next time you tell me, and I didn't know we were cool, right? And then after that, it was different, but you have to have a conversation. But again, I was open with him. I said, I can't afford it right now. I'm just letting you know I need my makeup done, but I don't feel comfortable asking you for a discount, so I'm going to someone else. And he was like, Dawn, you come over here next time. He said, don't even worry about that. And that's okay. I didn't sneak around. I think I told you, and then it was another, I had gotten a photo shoot, and then a makeup artist came with it. And I said, Steve, they have a makeup artist, so I don't have to pay you. I'm just letting you know that's who's doing my makeup. It wasn't a big deal if you have a conversation
Yeah.
with
Absolutely.
somebody instead of sneaking around and all that kind of stuff. I said, I'm just letting you know, Steve, I'm on a budget, and this photographer giving me a makeup artist. But he said, okay, Dr. Dunn, I get it. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no problems, because he know I'm always gonna come back, right? Yeah, I got a little coupon with that situation, so that was all right. But yeah. Now let me read this comment from Michelle. She says, they will pay for your service because they value your expertise. That's right. And then she also says you were honest. That's right. The Dr. Dawn was honest. That's right. Now, brothers and sisters, this has been a good conversation. I want to know your final words. First, you, Sonyia, you, Ferrell, and you, Steve. Anything you want to tell Black business owners, anything you want to say about Black business, whatever you want to say.
I want to say that.
And give us your contact information, how we can reach you.
So I want to say, I think we should focus on emerging. And what that means is don't focus where you're at, focus on how you're going to emerge from where you're at right now, whether it be COVID or whatever you're going through, because it gives your business a higher focus.
Yes.
And that's like a business plan. It's forever evolving. So give yourself grace in this time as a business owner, and focus on emerging, because then that way you're focused forward and not on your current situation, because it's tough for everybody right now.
Oh, yes.
So that's my advice. Sonyia Graham, for the skin I'm in, it's the skiniminmodel.com, and on social media, it's skin I'm in model, and that's Facebook and on Instagram. And so if you see some amazing, unique talent out there, please send them there to apply. We would love to see them.
Now, what do you mean by unique? Because we know you have amazing, beautiful models who have vitiligo, but are we talking, when we say unique, unique abilities, plus
Everything.
size,
So,
what are you talking about?
exactly. So any and everything you see when you walk out the door represents a person, whether we call it curvy,
Okay.
full-size models, adaptive. We have people that are amputees.
Okay.
We're looking for more different nationalities to represent. We want to be able to be that face of agency that everything you see when you walk out the door, any type of person, any type of condition, skin condition, or any of those things, we want the opportunity to see those people, to give them the opportunity to be seen in the industry.
That's good. That's good. And we see that people are getting booked. Go to their Instagram. You'll see people are getting booked. I love that. A group that's
really
often
blessed.
ignored. Oh, somebody has a question. Michelle says, what about older ladies? Can she?
Exactly. We actually, there's a name for they have,
Classic.
classic women.
Classic.
They're called classics.
Okay.
So, yes, we definitely, there's no age. Well, the minimum age for children is 5. So 5 and up. But as far as age above that, we're open.
Michelle, hit up. I have tagged Sonyia. I have tagged Ferrell. Get you a modeling contract, girl. I need to see you. Yeah, we need to see that. She said, okay. Yeah, she said, okay. That's good. I like that. You, Ferrell, and then you, Steve. Final comments, advice, just whatever,
Okay,
and then your contact info.
Got you. Well, final things, be your best. Be your best. Be your absolute best, and treat people the way you want to be treated.
That's right.
And one of the things that as far as contact information, I can be contacted via Facebook on social media, and that's Ferrell E. Phelps on Facebook. All of my stuff is there. And then you can messenger me or inbox me or whatever. But when one of the things that I was excited about, and we didn't get a chance to say it, was with the agency, we've really booked some major clients. We've done Fenty Cosmetics twice. We've done Delta Airlines. We've done Google with Magic Johnson. We've done, just like Orange Theory. You name it. It's been some really big things happening. We've done Darman, the Darman series. It's just been an incredible journey. The funny thing about it, Dr. Don, is that nobody really knows. Like, they see commercials and things, but they have no idea that this is our talent in these commercials. So it's been pretty cool just being kind of low key with everything. But yeah, you just have to, it's been a great thing, a great journey, and a great union with us doing this thing.
We're just getting started.
That's good. Yeah, I was a member of Orange Theory, but I fell off a little, y'all. Like I said, the COVID, but I can go to Chipotle. You know what I mean? It's amazing where you can go. I can go to Burger King, though, y'all, but I can't go to the gym. It's too many germs. Knowing good and well, the folks at Burger King the other day didn't have a mask on, but I'm worried about germs, so I can't go to the gym. Help me, y'all. Y'all know what it is. It's a choice.
Yeah,
it's a choice, but we'll get to that later. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Okay, you. Yeah, this ain't about that right now. You go ahead, Steve. Yeah.
I would like to say what has helped me being a business owner is the consistency, professionalism, and because I'm in the service industry, customer service is key.
Absolutely.
And the biggest advice I can say is sometimes you have to put the blinders on, focus on you and your business, and make yourself your biggest competition. Don't worry about the competitors outside.
Amen. I love that. That's really good.
When the blinders are on, you're creating.
Yeah.
Very good point.
There are things that you can implement, but when you have the blinders off, you got this idea, that idea. You're over here looking at, like you say, Fenty, seeing what they have going on, or looking at CoverGirl, Maybelline, but when you put your blinders on and focus on you, as Sonyia said earlier, what God has for you is for you. It's just all about the decisions you make and how you apply yourself. And there's a slogan that I haven't told anyone, but it'll be coming soon. Hopefully in the next year, I will write a book. And the title of that book is Life Can Be Only What You Make It. And that's got that line from the Mary J song that she remade And in her documentary explaining that, that resonated with me. And I said, that is so true. Based on the
Yes.
decisions we make, on the places where we put ourselves, life can be only what you make it. And so that's my advice.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, Steve. I'm
Leave
so
your
focused on.
legacy. Write
I'm.
that book.
Yeah, write it. Right. Sonya's a publisher.
Oh.
Right.
Write it.
Yeah. Hey, look, I have a media company as well. We do professional writing, editing, all that. Sonyia is a publisher. Ferrell is a photographer. Steve is a makeup artist. Let's partner. Let's see what's going on, right? Let's
Yeah.
just, and I'm quick to refer people. That's good. I didn't get that from Mary. Maybe I was so busy looking at her boots. She was wearing it Super Bowl. I was like, Mary, where you get them boots? Yeah. I'm ready for Mary's album. You know how she does. She's single, so we got it. Now we got the empowerment album, and then she'll be in love again, and we'll get that Men Are Good album, and then we'll get the, hopefully it'll work out. I love me some Mary J. Blige. I love Mary J. Blige. She can do no wrong to me. I think she is one of the realest.
Yes.
And I love the lyrics from her song. I think she did a song with Khaled. And her lyrics were, I can't be fake because real is all I know how to be. I was like, man, that right there, when she said that, I was like, I can't be fake because real is all you. Mary J. Blige, just love her. This could be a whole show about Mary. I'm telling you. What, Steve?
Dr. Don, when I feel myself placed in that situation or where I have to be fake or feel like I remove myself, whether it's an event, whether it's a conversation, whether even if on this talk show and I felt I couldn't be myself or real with what I was saying, I always remove myself from, because I mean, that's it. Just, down home real from a small big country, but no, let me see, a small big city of Beaumont. That's just kind of what you be real, and that takes you your honesty. That it's just the value and the relationship, and there's people know who you are without the facade or the fakeness of what you're trying to be.
Yeah. But speaking of fake, y'all, Ferrell, Sonyia, Steve, there is sometime, you have to adapt. There's adapting, right? But if we have to fake it, it's time to remove. We just can't do it. Sonyia, darling, Sonyia Baring Graham, Ferrell Phelps. Oh, we have a caller. Maybe they want to get in on the convo. Y'all hold on. Y'all not doing nothing. Hold on. Dr. Don Radio Show. Hello, Dr. Don Radio Show. You're on the air.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I apologize. I'm just calling in to listen.
Okay.
My bad.
I love when people do that, when they call in and they think they're calling in to listen. You know how you have the call-in numbers? No.
Right.
I put your Hey, but thank you, brother, for listening. But brothers and sisters, I have to let these beautiful people go. Ferrell has to get ready for a photo shoot. Sonyia has to go publish some books, and Steve has to go clean his makeup brushes, because you will get clean. Right? Ain't no dirty brushes over there. Y'all need to watch that too. Pimples popping up day after the makeup. Something wrong with that. But anyway, we go. Sonyia, you know what I'm talking about.
A lot of people don't think about that stuff.
Cleanliness.
Yeah.
Cleanliness. Ferrell, right? I mean, come on. Yeah.
I tell you what, man, when I see a makeup artist that comes in and their kits are not clean, it's like an instant turn off. I mean, and also it's so important that makeup, and I'm sure that Steve does that. You show up professionally, show up looking good, looking decent.
Yeah.
Don't just show up any kind of way. You're representing your business and your brand, and it is so important. Very important.
Look, I was working the Miss Texas pageant here in Houston about a month ago. And one of the makeup artists came in, and when I tell you I wanted to tap her on.
Oh, he popped out. Yeah. Maybe he was gonna say a name and we don't even. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And I didn't know her. I didn't know her, but she was younger. And I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to say your representation speaks
Yeah.
for your business before they even know who you are. But she walked in with the bonnet on, with
A
the little
bonnet.
spaghetti straps.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're amongst, you don't know who's judging, who's looking, who may rehire you for the project, to go on.
Right.
And you come up, Ian had some house shoes on.
Mm.
The house shoes took me out. I said, oh no. But again, I have my blinders on, minding my business.
But see, sometimes we do have to get involved. But
Yeah.
see, and if they take it, they do, right, Sonyia? If they don't, they don't. Because some people you try to tell. But yeah, sometimes, yeah, but you and Lisa has dressed how you want to be addressed. That's good. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes.
like that.
We have to mentor y'all. We have to mentor. It's a lot needs to be going on out here. But brothers and sisters, Steve, I love how you remix the show, popping in, popping out. That's how he does. He's getting. Because look, I was a little worried when he said, "Yeah, I have to remove myself." Oh, well, we shady. He didn't like us. I guess that's why.
Hey, Don, he removed himself several times. Didn't he?
Yeah, maybe he didn't like us. He's like, "Oh yeah, let me." Oh, brothers and sisters, I want to thank these three beautiful people: Sonyia Baring Graham, Ferrell E. Phelps. The E stands for excellence, and Steven Coleman. God bless each and every one of you. Keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. God bless each and every one of you.
Thank
keep
you.
doing
You
what
too.
you're doing.
Thank you for being here.
And we'll
Good
all have to
conversation.
connect. Definitely.
Yes. But I got to go to Burger King. Yeah, we'll do that. Help me, y'all. We're going to get it together. I'm getting it together.
It's Impossible Burger. I'm joking. Don't
Oh, no, that's what I get. But with cheese and a shake. So does that really matter? It's not impossible. Yeah. I'm adding all kind of stuff to the impossible, y'all. I'm out of control. What's the point of the veggie burger with cheese and then add a shake to it? Yeah, come on, y'all. But that's another show for another time. And let me tell y'all a little story before, right? I had been, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a health and fitness show. But you know what you put out, you got to stand on. So, yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm not ready for the health show. Lynn says the topic definitely needed to be discussed. Amen. Thank you for that, Lynn. God bless you, Sonyia. God bless you, Steve. And God bless you, Ferrell. Many, many more blessings for your business.
Thank you.
so
We
much.
receive it.
God bless you.
And God bless you as well.
Thank